With a fascinating history dating back to the dawn of civilization, Egypt is considered the oldest travel destination on Earth. The temples and pyramids of this African country have captured the imagination of travelers for thousands of years. Although most people come to Egypt to see its ancient ruins, the natural attractions also attract travelers. Egypt is famous for its beautiful atmosphere and its sun perpendicular to the temples of Luxor, which increases tourists' enjoyment in Egypt. Here is a look at the temples and palaces in the city of Luxor, which you can visit on your tourist destination in Egypt. I wish you a pleasant viewing of our beautiful monuments and enjoying them. The history of the Karnak Temple dates back to more than 4,500 years, and the Karnak Temple is a complex of 11 temples, to be the oldest houses of worship known to history. Therefore, the Karnak Temple is one of the most important archaeological features of Egypt in Luxor and the most famous of them in the world. The most important activities of the Karnak Temple are that sound and light concerts are held at night, which the story of the temple is told in more than one language. The Valley of the Queens is the burial place of the queens in ancient Egypt. It was known in the past as Tarsetnafro, meaning, the place of the sons of the pharaoh or the place of beauty, because in this place the queens of the 18th, 19th and 20th dynasties were buried, in addition to many princes and princesses. The Valley of the Kings is a valley in Egypt that was used for 500 years during the period between the 16th and 11th centuries BC to be a complex for the tombs of the pharaohs and nobles of the modern state that extended during the 18th and 20th dynasties in ancient Egypt. The valley is located on the west bank of the Nile, facing Thebes, now known as Luxor, in the heart of the ancient funerary city of Thebes. The Valley of the Kings is divided into two valleys, the Eastern Valley, in which most of the royal tombs are located, and the Western Valley, which contains many treasures that dazzled the world through the amazing pharaonic burial rituals in which mummies and clearly drawn tombs were buried. There are 62 tombs in the valley, of which 26 are for kings and the rest are for senior officials and some members of the royal families and priests. The ancient Egyptians called it the Great Cemetery of High Stature. The Temple of Dir el-Bahari, or the Temple of Hatshepsut, deserves the title of the Jewel of the Temples of Luxor, as it is the largest of the most important funerary temples in the era of the pharaonic state. Tourists from all over the world come to it to enjoy watching the greatness of its unique architecture. The popular market in the city and the vicinity of the Luxor Museum, which is a copy of the Khan al-Khalili located in Cairo. It contains a number of shops and kiosks selling various types of merchandise, including historical souvenirs and pharaonic statues, in addition to traditional Egyptian clothes, accessories, vegetables and fruits, and a group of popular cafes located on the outskirts. Do not hesitate and visit this market with your family and friends and enjoy buying what you love from this wonderful popular market and get to know the simple Egyptian people at the same time. The Great Temple of Abu Simbel, located in Nubia near the southern border of Egypt, is among the most magnificent monuments in Egypt. It was built by King Ramesses II of the 19th dynasty, completely cut into the mountain, around 1264. The temple is famous for its 4 huge seated statues that adorn its facade, one of which collapsed due to an ancient earthquake and its remains are still on the ground. The huge statues of the king stand on both sides of the main hall leading to the Holy of Holies, where 4 gods sit: Amun-Ra, Ra-Harakti, Papa, and Ramesses II as a deity. The temple was built with high precision so that sunlight enters the temple. To the north is another rock-cut temple known as the Small Temple, dedicated to the goddess Hathor and the great royal wife of Ramesses II, Queen Nefertari. To the north is another rock-cut temple known as the Small Temple, dedicated to the goddess Hathor and the great royal wife of Ramesses II, Queen Nefertari. The 2 temples were moved from their original location in 1968 after the construction of the S1 High Dam, which threatened to flood them. The transfer process was completed thanks to international efforts led by UNESCO, and the temple was accepted into the list of World Heritage Sites in 1979. The Abu al-Hajjaj al-Luxor Mosque is the meeting place of three Islamic, Pharaonic and Coptic civilizations, where a Coptic church was erected from its bottom from the western side, in addition to being located between the columns and walls of the upper part of the entrance to the ancient Luxor Temple, which was built by the Pharaonic king Ramses II.